So like I'm feeling super nostalgic thinking back to like 2011, 2010. When you were launching K Theory, I went back through your discography and I saw that you had a few like This Song Is Sick, I guess official releases. They weren't really a label. It was just a blog. But just from my own curiosity, how did you get in contact with This Song Is Sick and release exclusives with them? And do you think that helped help K Theory to gain traction?
I definitely think so. We just had, because it was so early and like blogs were like really killing it, it was just way easier to make connections with these. Like they're like huge. And like, I don't even know how I would approach This Song Is Sick if I was just starting out now. You probably have to like pay them or something like that.
Yeah.
But like back then, like you were just the homies. Like you would just like meet up with them in LA. We would like go on trips to LA and just meet these people and hang out. And we would show them music like, oh yeah, we should feature this. And it was just kind of, I don't know if you say what's easy. You still have to like network and like have like pretty decent social skills, which is something Dylan was really good at. I kind of more struggled with it because I'm kind of on the spectrum. So I had to really like push myself to be like networking. That's something he really excelled at because he would just social butterfly, really good at like talking to people. And if you were good at like, you know, talking, being friendly and respectful and showing people music, that just puts you in like a league like above other people because most people don't even do that. And it was way easier back then because a lot of these like outlets, they weren't super big, that they were like unapproachable. We like personally knew like the guy that did Trap Nation because he like lived in San Francisco. We would just like hang out with him and like get sushi together just because, I don't know, it was just easy because like we were in close proximity and they weren't so big that they were just like unapproachable.
Yeah.
I guess, I don't know if that's luck. That might be luck, just like being at the right time, like being in the right era at the right time. Like I remember Trap Nation when they had like only like 10,000 subscribers. They have like 40 million now.
So like about this making connections and networking, I think a lot of people, smaller producers especially, kind of struggle with this. And whether that's making connections online over social media or making connections in person at shows, do you have any advice for these people about how they should approach it and maybe what they should prioritize online versus in real life? And how those differ?
I do have some advice. There's like basically to be successful, there's like three main things that need to be strong. And that is the music. You have to have, your music has to be at least good enough where it like can compete with what's being DJ'd out at major festivals. You have to have good branding, and that's just important. So it makes it easier for people to listen to your music to like correlate who you are. And then networking, like a strong network. That's kind of where like kind of what you asked, that needs to be strong. So if you have like solid music and like a decent brand, doesn't have to be like super like crazy, but just something consistent, just something there so people can easily identify like your music with your brand. And then once you have those things, it makes networking easier because say like, oh, check out my Instagram. And like there's like a theme and like the links to your music are like readily available. It just makes it so much easier.
Mm-hmm.
As for networking, like how to network, if you live in a city, there's like two types of networking. Like the people that like have access to going to shows and going to parties, because some people may live in the middle of nowhere. For the people that like have access to shows, say you live in like San Francisco or Denver, or like a place where there's like a scene, you need to go to parties and get to know like the promoters and get to know the like staff, like introduce yourself to people. And like, cause most people don't even do that. They don't even like introduce themselves to the security guards or ask them their names or like say thank you. Like the bar is so low set that just like being nice and pleasant and like I was at a show like a couple of days ago, opening for Nero. And when I went to go talk to the VJ because I wanted to get my visual set up, like the security guard like stopped me because that's their job. And I was like, oh, I'm DJ and I just want to talk to the VJ. And I introduced myself, what's my name, and said like, what's your name? And he told me his name and I was like, thank you so much. Shook his hand and was like just really cordial. Didn't freak out that they're stopping me because of course they're going to do that. They're security. That's their job, to make sure that like, he doesn't know who I am. He's just doing his job. And some people may be like, I'm DJing here. What do you think you're doing? Or you know what I mean? Like just being nice to the whole staff goes a long way. And I would recommend like people to go to as many shows as you can, especially ones that kind of make sense with your style. Like if you're a house DJ, go to the house shows, get to know those people. And then you can, if you learn who the promoter is, you could like ask to be on shows. Another thing, if you have like, how should I say this? Looking for artists that are like on tour that are kind of similar to yourself. Let's say, for example, if I was to do this, like someone like Zavo, similar to me, and I think he's on tour, I go see like, okay, what cities is Zavo going on tour? Is he going on a city like in Salt Lake City where I am? Oh, but there he is. He's playing at this in Salt Lake City. What is the venue? Who is the promoters? Find the promoters. Like, oh, here's her Instagram. Maybe send them an Instagram message. Be like, hey, if you guys, I see Zavo's playing at this party. Do you guys have openers for this? I'd love to open for you guys. I feel like I'd be a good fit because he's a mid-tempo DJ. I do mid-tempo. Like anything you can to try to like get yourself in there. And sometimes just say, oh, we already have openers. Thank you though, but we hope to see you at the show. Then you can be like, okay, I'll be there to support. Stuff like that. That's like an online version. And then you go there like to support. Now, say you live in a city or a town that has no shows or anything. You're not in like an area like that. What I would suggest is try to move to like a big city. If you can't, because moving's expensive, then you have to just like kill it online and just, maybe make connections via just finding like the parties that you would want to go to that do have that and just hyping them up, like maybe liking their posts, engaging with their social media on Instagram, like saying stuff, because they love that stuff because it makes their party look better, like trying to add value any way you can. Because eventually, like maybe like when you get more clout and you can get flown out there, they might remember you and be like, oh yeah, you were like commenting on this for like so long. Yeah, we'd love to fly you out. We can only like offer you $600 or something like that, but like we'd love that, like fly you out. And then you would just like get in your friends and like road trip there and like, I don't know, sleep in your car or just spend your money on a hotel. But $600 is not that much to like travel to like an out of state area or whatever. I don't even know if they would pay that much. Sometimes they don't pay at all. You got to like see like, okay, is it worth it for me and my homies to drive there for a show that's not getting paid? I know that's a big issue. Like people say like, don't do shows if you're not getting paid. And I totally respect that, because by like making that stance, you're like keeping the DJ economy like strong. And by playing shows for free, you kind of fuck up the economy. But sometimes there's like a value in playing a show for free if like it makes sense. So there's like a lot of factors in networking, and you got to understand like where you're at, because it's different for each person. Like if you don't have a lot of money and you live like in a city that's like in nowhere, then your strategy is going to look a little different than if like you live in a city. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. I think what you said, like just getting your foot in the door sometimes, like sending the DMs, like commenting on the post, showing up over and over, like getting your foot in the door, and then like consistency.
Yeah.
Making them know you, like establishing some kind of relationship and supporting them.
Yeah, supporting them, offering like value.
Exactly.
Because they love that stuff. They make posts because they want people to engage. They're looking for engagement. You can be that engagement.
Yeah. Exactly.